and this is Third Coast Radio. I am your host, Kamikaze, the Kingmaker. We are in here with the cool kids. We got House of Mars, we got Kayla Renee, we got Dreon Santana, we got DJ Java on the boards, and of course, we're broadcasting to you live from the Synergy Link building, 135 Bound Street, over the north side of Jackson, man. A very fantastic small business incubator and co-working space. So if you are an entrepreneur or a small business person and you want to come and have a meeting, if you want to come and have a panel, if you want to come and do anything with your business and you don't have your own place, the Synergy Link is the exact place for you. 135 Bound Street. Make sure you come through. And of course, as promised, at the top of the show, man, we got the man himself in the building. Inside Synergy Link, we got Stevie J in the building.
Come on. What's going on, y'all?
So that change, Stevie.
Right. So we glad to have you on Third Coast Radio. I think this is your first time coming in and hanging out with us on Third Coast Radio. Of course, we talk about all genres of music here, man, and you got blues in the name. You know what I'm saying? It's just Stevie J. You already know what it is, man. So we go back. I know you already. But for the people who are listening out there in Radio Land who may not be familiar with the genre or may not be familiar with you, introduce yourself, man. Tell them where you come from and tell them your claim to fame.
Well, my name is Stevie J Blues. I'm from Jackson, Mississippi. One would say I'm the blues child of Bobby Rush and Pat Brown.
Okay.
So yeah, the first blues gigs I did was Pat Brown, of course, and Bobby Rush. First international work I did was Bobby Rush. Came from the gospel field. Throughout the 90s, I played with a lot of traditional professional quartet groups from Williamsburg, Jackson Southern Mills, Christianaires, Mighty Clouds of Joy, Caesar, everybody, you know what I'm saying? They came through Jackson, and I rather tour with them or sat in with them, recorded with them, or all three. You know what I'm saying?
So usually we had Mr. Sip here in the building and Vic Allen, and both of them talked about coming from the gospel world and going into the blues world. So talk about that a little bit. I hear that a lot with blues people to say they started out in gospel and went to blues. So I mean, does that mean that the devil won you over?
Well, no, because
crossroads.
With me, what won was the money. The count of the money was a little different. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
As far as the difference in paying a person a salary for 3 or 4 days as opposed to paying them per night.
I got you.
Was like, yeah. But when you say Vic Allen, man, I went to Callaway High School.
Yeah.
Vic Allen used to come and pick me up from Callaway to go and rehearse with Leonard Williams. Actually, me, Vic Allen, and Lamar's Williams were in the same group.
Shouts out to Lamar's Williams.
Yeah, we played with Leonard Williams like early 90s, man, like 90, 91. We were all part of our Leonard Williams group. And then Vic Allen started playing with Can Spirituals, and then he hooked me up with Christianaires. 10 years later, 20 years later. Yeah, the rest is history.
Yeah, it's history, of course, man. So, transitioning from gospel into the blues field, man, what do you see as some of the major differences in the two genres, man, once you started getting yourself immersed into the blues?
Really, man, the differences are very minute. It's not really a whole lot of difference other than the venues may change a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Here, you don't have to sneak out to drink the wine. Same people, same promoters.
Yeah.
Same people.
Yeah.
Same game.
Yeah. There you go.
All right, so I want to ask, some people, have a hard time grasping that artists can sing the blues and be a gospel artist. So did you have a hard time finding a fan base once you switch over to blues? Or?
No, but see, this is the difference with me and maybe Mr. Sip or Big Allen. I was never a gospel artist. I was a band member. I played guitar for people. Nobody knew I really sung until I started singing blues. Okay. So then they're like, "Oh, you sing too?" Like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
you're still playing the guitar for Jesus, though.
Yeah. He gave it to me.
Don't forget that.
Yeah, man.
Don't forget that.
All right, so I'm gonna lean over a little bit. So I was reading something. I was stalking your website, and so format friendly blues. Can you explain to the listeners what you mean by format friendly blues?
Format friendly blues is a type of blues that you can hear that you can play on any type of radio format, whether it be pop, whether it be R&B, whether it be hip hop. We are creating music that can go into any format and come right behind whoever, and you're not gonna lose any quality. You're not gonna lose anything. It's gonna be the same type of polish, same type of groove. You know what I'm saying? It's the same type of head knot.
Right.
It's just a blues record.
Now, do you think because you think outside the box, how hard is it for other artists that are in the same genre of blues to think outside the box?
That's personal. That's on them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are you gonna allow yourself to do? What is your voice? Like a lot of times, a lot of artists doing blues or doing other genres of music, they're doing it because they may have seen somebody else do something to come up, or they may have seen a gateway, but they're not doing it to voice to share their voice.
Right.
That's the difference. You have to know your own voice.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Everybody's voice is gonna be different, but once you find your voice, it comes natural. It just flows.
Well, last but not least, myself. So I know we have this saying when we always ask people like, when did you fall in love with hip hop? So when did you fall in love with blues?
Wow. I would say 2002, my first international trip. I went to Cognac, France, Bobby Rush, stayed at the Hennessy Mansion. On the river where they bootlegged the cognac in 1860. You know, and while we were over there, we played the festival. We went to this club called Remy Blues, owned by Remy Martin. And there were 4 musicians on the patio playing blues, singing blues, sounded like they were from Mississippi. We run into them. When we got to them, they couldn't speak a lick of English. You know, so it just messed me up, man, to the point where I told us, man, when I get back home, I'm gonna really dig into the music and look, and I'm gonna start a band, you know, and that's what I did. And we started playing 930 about 2 months after that trip.
930 Blues.
930 Blues.
Rest in peace to 930 Blues.
Yeah.
So I remember being on tour myself in the Czech Republic, and I was over there watching the channel, and Bobby Rush came on.
Oh yeah.
While I was in the Czech Republic.
Oh yeah.
And it blew my mind. And I thought about, you know, at the time how embraced blues is and how embraced Mississippi artists are on an international scale.
Right.
And people don't even realize how much love we get across the world. So, you know, so
Exactly.
talk about how, you know, on your international trips, how the blues is looked at and embraced and duplicated. And, you know, even people over here in the States don't have the same appreciation for it that people overseas.
And not just blues, man. Live music, periods. Neo soul, hip hop.
Right.
They love it over there, man. Yeah, you know, it's a respect for musicians, it's a respect for live music. In Europe, especially, that's like second to none. You don't find it nowhere. Like, especially in the States, no, they don't get it. You know, I think probably there are certain parishes of Canada that aligns up pretty close to the appreciation that the European markets have for live music. There's certain places in Canada where you go to jail for ripping a CD or selling a CD. You know, and they do it, and they do it at at the gas station here. And certain places you go to jail in Canada.
So how has it
go to Canada?
really get your money for real?
Ontario.
Really get your money. So how has it been coming? Well, we're still in the middle of a pandemic, but how has it been as far as performances? Are you getting to perform much? I see you're at F. Jones Corner a lot, but any more like live performances that you're getting to do?
This is, man, I do a lot of cruise contracts for BB King's clubs. So like February 2022, February 22nd, 2022, I got off a cruise ship. I just went to South America and Alaska and all these places. Got off a cruise ship, came home, and 2 weeks later, we were shut down, pandemic. So what I've been doing, we've been playing F. Jones. The F. Jones is the only place we play here in Jackson. And we left 930 while 930 was still open and started playing F. Jones. So, that's our base here of blues. It's the only blues club in Jackson. I've been doing some festivals and some shows and touring. Like we did the Grassroots Festival around Grenada a couple of weeks ago. Different things like that. But as far as full force hitting the road, not right now. Not right now. They've been talking about possibly 2022 going back out to do something for BB Kings, and I'm looking, but now this Delta variant, and I'm like.
So how are you making it as an artist and as a creative? You know, what are you doing in this time where, you know, live shows are you know, the lifeblood for a lot of blues artists?
Tracks and producing. I'm doing it from the house. I'm trying to do everything from the house. I got the green room set up at the house for video production in one room, and then I got the audio room set up for recording, you know, and going to Ableton, and just trying to you know, do it different. So I've been selling tracks and doing a lot of things, trying to build my publishing company. Writing songs, you know, just to keep the grind going. But I'm trying to make my mark now is to where I can let the house facility make money, right, and sustain the bills and keep things rolling, and just chill out, see what's going on, you know.
All right, so let's talk a little bit, man. I was doing, you know, looking into, you know, music, catching up with what you were doing, and I ran across U.L.S. So I want to talk about that for a second because that was interesting. The mix of the artist in U.L.S. had a little bit of rapping in it. Had, you know, some different styles of singing in it. So tell us about U.L.S. and tell us what we can expect from that project.
Okay, Urban Ladder Society, U.L.S. It's all-star band with Victor Newman, Chris Gill, myself, John Mayon. You haven't really seen or heard anything from Jonte because she just had a baby. Her baby is 2 months old. So we've been recording and we just released the video, What's on Your Mind video. We've been doing everything without Jonte, but the next thing we got coming up, the next single's gonna drop. It's gonna feature Jonte. She had the baby, she's back. But I'm really excited about U.L.S. because, again, the European market that picked up and latched onto the band and they're loving the band. They just Blue Scene Media just did a world premiere of the What's on Your Mind video. They're out of France. Got a couple more things coming up in Europe, you know, on the video that they've been just really latching onto it. But we've been getting so much airplay in the European markets from London to Ireland. You know what I'm saying? Just everywhere they can just latching on to the sound, you know. And it's just different, you know. I think we often say it's probably the most innovative creation in blues since the guitar amp.
That's a pretty big boastful statement.
But
since the guitar amp.
Since the guitar amp.
Okay.
Because if you think about it, everything since the guitar amp it sounded just like, you know, you had the Muddy Waters era.
Yeah.
You had the Stevie Ray Vaughan era. Yeah. You had B.B. King era. You know, you had Robert Cray. But everybody's kind of similar, the same. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty much the same stuff. So the U.L.S. stuff is totally out the box. You hadn't heard no 808s in blues. You know what I'm saying? You hadn't heard that kind of thing, that kind of sound in blues until U.L.S.
Would you describe blues and Southern soul as two different things?
Absolutely.
Because I was about to say when you said the 808s, and I was thinking about Big Pokey.
That's Southern soul.
The Southern soul. So
that's regional music.
Describe the distinction for our listeners out there, because we talk to bands, we talk to rock bands here, we talk to hip hop artists here. So for people that are listening that might not be fans of the blues or might not be fans of the Southern soul, we play all of that. What's your definition of the distinction between blues and Southern soul?
Well, the best way I try to distinguish the difference or explain the differences is by artists. When you talk about blues, you're talking about B.B. King, Abbey King, Muddy Waters. We talk about soul blues, you're talking about Lattimore, Johnny Taylor, Tyrone Davis. When you talk about Southern soul, you're talking about T.K. Soul, Sir Charles Jones, Pokey. So it's by artists. It kind of, if you listen to the sounds of the artist, it would help you better categorize what you're listening to.
Okay. All right. Cool. So talk about this new project you got. Of course, we're gonna let everybody know how they can catch up with you on social media, man. The next project that you got coming out.
Okay. The next project I got coming out is 2022. Is Stroke of a Pen. I hope I didn't get it away. But Stroke of a Pen. Stroke of a Pen. 2022. I'm thinking February. It's got some great songs. We're going back with some new songs and some old songs that we've been redoing through this pandemic right there at the house. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be it's a great mixture of songs, and some songs I'm putting on this project that I felt like I wasn't able to put my best production foot forward in the past. So we're going back and revisiting those songs. And now that I have my own space, I can live with them. And you know, guys, sometimes you hear something, man, maybe 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
You don't want to have to call nobody and see when you can get in. You're supposed to just going out there and turning the stuff on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we're gonna be revisiting some songs and getting them the way we want them. You know, as a writer and as a producer, what we really hearing, so we can give it the best. You know, so I'm really excited about it. It's gonna be pretty cool.
No doubt. Stevie J in the building right now, talking to the cool kids, man. You're listening to Third Coast Radio. So for everybody out there that wants to get in touch with you, if they want to reach out to you for booking, social media, give them all the information right now. Everybody's listening.
www.steviejblues.org, Facebook Stevie J Blues, Twitter Stevie J Music, Stevie J Blues. Just Google Stevie J Blues, or you can call Henry Stevens at 601-954-1459.
There you go.
For exclusive booking, whatever. Have blues, we'll travel.
Have your bag ready. Have your bag ready.
Yeah, that bag.
Stevie J. Right. Stevie J in the building, man, on Third Coast Radio, man. We're going to get into another Stevie J record right here. When we be back, we got more music and we got more cool kids. We'll be right back.